In this video, I'm going to explain how to download and install and set up the Logic 2010 program so that you can create your account in it. So there's a link there to do that. The actual link is all over the place, and this in the Logic 2010 module. There's a link here in the module by itself, and then in the actual Create Logic 2010 account assignment. So it opens this page, and well, it opens this Logic 2010 download page. So what do we do? So the first thing we're going to do is we will agree to the above terms, and then depending upon whether or not we're on Windows or Mac, we need to download either the Windows version or the Mac version. Since I'm on a Mac version, I'm going to download the Mac version, so I'll click there. And once the download completes, it should be pretty quick. And then we need to find our download on our computer. On a Windows PC, a window should automatically pop up that will let you unzip the program. So unzip the program and it will install itself. You may not be sure where it's installed. So if you're not sure, find your Windows key down on the bottom row of the keyboard, hit that and type Logic, and that will show you where it is. And if the zip file doesn't automatically install itself, then do the same thing. So if nothing happens after the download, hit the Windows key, type Logic or Logic 2010, and then open that file. On a Mac, the installation of Logic 2010 is a little bit more complicated. So in a portion of this video, I'm going to show how to install the Logic 2010 program on a Mac, and then after having done that, I'm going to show how to set up your account in the Logic 2010 program. That will be the same whether or not you're on a Windows or on a Mac program computer. So if you're on Windows, you want to jump ahead to the final part of the video because the installation for Logic 2010 is pretty easy on a Windows program computer. If you're having trouble doing it on Windows, let me know. Message me. But otherwise, just skip to the end of this video or skip the next section. If you're on a Mac, stick around, and I'm going to show you what to do. So it's a little bit complicated. There are two things we have to deal with. Once we deal with both of them, they'll be sort of taken care of permanently, and the Logic program will run correctly on your computer. But if you don't do either of these things, then you're going to have a problem. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find the program where it's downloaded. So you may, in your dock, have a downloads folder, and if you do, that's where you want to go, and you want to command click there. So hold down command and then click, and that will open the downloads folder. Now you may not have the downloads folder in your dock, so then how are you going to get there? So the way you can do that is you're going to go to your Finder, which is this application. You definitely have this application. Where is it? There on the left there, called Finder. You're going to click View, and you want to say show the sidebar. And you're probably going to have somewhere in the sidebar a downloads folder. Okay, we're going to need to use the sidebar, so we want to be able to see the sidebar. If you click View, right, and you show the sidebar, and you can't find downloads, then go to the Go menu, and you will find downloads there. So one way or another, get there from the dock if you have it in your dock, get there from the sidebar if you have it in the sidebar, and if neither of those work, click Go, Downloads, and that'll get you there. And you're going to see something that says Install Logic blah blah blah. Okay, so we're going to click on that, and this window's going to pop up. And okay, great, there's the Logic 2010 program. The problem is if you just click on it, it's going to say you can't run it, because it's going to say it's maybe bad, it could be a dangerous program, so you can't run it. So we need to get around that. The first thing we want to do to get around that is actually to move the Logic program somewhere else on our computer. So the easiest way to do that is to take the Logic program and drag it into the Applications folder here in the sidebar. And I'm going to dump it there. And now, where is it? It's right there. It's in my Applications folder. Now, if you don't see, I'm going to undo that because I want to show you another thing. You might not have the Applications folder in your sidebar. And that's what are you going to do then? So to deal with this situation, you're going to click File up here and then New Finder Window. So now we've got two Finder windows open. We've got the one with the download, and we've got another one. And then we're going to click Go up and there's our downloads one. We go to the other Finder window. We're going to click Go, and we're going to find Applications down there. Now we have the Applications. So in one we have downloads, here we have applications, and now we're going to drag Logic 2010 over to applications. So now it's in applications, so that's the first thing we've done. And if that was quick, just rewind that and make sure you get it into your applications folder. That's step 1. Now we need to do step 2. So again, if we open it here, we're going to get this same message. Oh, it's bad, it's malware. It's not, but we need to tell our Mac that it's not. So how do we do that? We're going to go up to the Apple menu, and we're going to click on System Settings. That's the second thing in that menu. We got this now. Okay, we need to go to the right place here. So we can scroll down, and we find Privacy and Security. It's down towards the bottom. You can also type Privacy here. Oops. And click that. Okay. But also, so you can do it through this search, or you can just scroll down and find it down here. Either way, we get Privacy and Security. We got to, again, scroll down, get past all the privacy stuff and down to the security stuff down at the bottom. So it says security there. We have allow applications, and then it says Logic 2010 was blocked to protect your Mac. So we're going to click Open Anyway. And first option is move to the trash, but we don't want move to the trash. We're going to click Open Anyway again. And now we're going to enter our password, or I'm going to use my Touch ID, and it's going to open. It's actually opening in the background down here, but you can see it's popped up in the dock. And it's going to take a second, and then we'll have a window, and now we're good to go to create our account. So again, if that was a little quick, just go through each step slowly, watching the video and doing the download and going through all those steps at the same time, and you'll get here. And now we can create our account. So the first thing we need to do is choose our institution. So this demo thing, this is a button. So click on demo and find your school, in this case LBCC, and it should pop up with the right term and course, which it has. So I'm going to click OK. So we'll click Update. Whenever the program asks to update, you want to let it do so. You won't have any choice. You won't be able to move forward if you don't. So we'll click, we have 3 options here. We're going to click Register. And I am going to create a just new fake account. So I'm going to put in my student ID. Please use your real student ID, your Long Beach student ID. And you'll click OK. And you'll click Register, making sure that's the real number. And now we put in our name. So I'm just going to put in my first and last name and an email address. This email address is not super important, but you put in one where you can be reached, and we're going to click Save. Now we're going to create a password. In general, people say create secure passwords, and that's a great idea, except it's not for this because actually we don't need it at all. So I'm going to make a very simple password. My password is going to be 123, and I'm going to confirm that, okay? For this program, for the way we're using it, you don't need this password to do any protection, so make it something that's really easy to enter and that you won't forget. If you do forget, I can reset it. Email me, message me, and we're going to click Create. I get statistical data to see how long it takes students to do the problems, but it's not linked to an individual user, so I'll just see for the whole class what was the average time on this that it took students to complete a given problem. So we'll say OK. We can control the font size if we want bigger or smaller font. Monochrome means single color. So right now, this is all basically grayscale from black to white in the application. If you if you click monochrome, it's going to stay that way. If you don't click monochrome, it's going to be blue, and there's going to be blue and then blue and gold because this was created and maintained by UCLA, and blue and gold are their colors. You will have the option to click this. This window will pop up each time you run the program, so you can always just change it if you want to change it each time. So we'll click Continue. And this doesn't matter. You can click Don't Allow. I'm going to click Don't Allow. If you're on Windows, I don't think that's going to happen. So something funny happened to me there after I clicked Don't Allow. My computer froze up for a second. I've never had that happen before. I think it was something funny. If that does happen to you, just wait it out, and you should get this pop up after maybe 30 seconds or something. So this pop-up says you're a fully registered user. You can backup, restore, submit, and view assignments. That's where you need to get to complete this assignment, to create your account. We'll click OK. And this is the main menu for the Logic 2010 program. These top buttons will open the different modules where you'll be doing different kinds of assignments. These buttons will open different help information, and then down here are where you'll quit. In general, always click that delete work quit button. You can quit, either's fine, but delete work and quit is better, especially if you're going to be working on multiple computers. This assignments button will take you to the assignments page, but we don't need to see any of that for this module because all you have to do for this module is what we've done. Once you get here, you've succeeded and in creating your account. I will update your scores manually because Canvas doesn't know about this. So that's creating your account. If you have any trouble with this, please get in touch with me after walking through the video once or twice and it's still not working. Just let me know and I'll walk you through it because sometimes things can get a little funny with this program, particularly on Macs in terms of the setup. Once it's set up, it works fine, but there can be a little fiddly details with the setup. So good luck. Let me know if you have any trouble and we'll get going with some logic in our next module and actually using the program.